Welcome to our podcast, Learn Biblical Greek, brought to you by Dr. William Stewart, the co-founder of Teleios. This captivating podcast teaches you biblical Greek through a verse-by-verse study of the book of Ephesians, interjecting Greek grammar, Greek word meanings, and vital theology concepts. Thanks for joining us on this exciting biblical journey. Your study will be more effective if you use the Greek text with the Bible word codes, either on the eSword download or Bible Hub website. These links are on our podcast website at www.teliosresearch.com.
Hi, I'm William Stewart, co-founder of Teleios. Welcome back to our podcast on learning biblical Greek. We're having a great time going through Ephesians. We're learning Greek, the words and their significance. We're learning the grammar, and we're learning theology in a very important book. So, three great benefits from this study. I hope that you are gaining from it. Again, learning Greek takes persistence and patience, but over time, I think you'll begin to see its benefit and how it helps us to know God better, that we can be more obedient servants. We're in verse 16 today in chapter 2, so have your Greek text ready. We've just finished talking about how God reconciled through Christ Jews and Gentiles into one man. And he just then, at the end of verse 15, began to shift to the next major topic, the key topic. Let's go to the text. Verse 16 starts with the chi, so the most common Greek word, and it links two thoughts of a similar subject. Then we get a verb, hard verb, aren't they all? Let's go through it. Let's start from the beginning. And again, we're looking for a prefix. This time there are two. Remember these prefixes. Strengthen, the root word for the verb, or may change the meaning. And this time it changes the meaning. And I think the two prepositions here on the front as prefixes probably give it a very sort of a strengthened, heightened importance. Apo from, kata down, and then we look for the augment. We don't see it. The root word Allah would starts with an A, so if there was an augment, it would be an eta and not an epsilon, the E. Allah then is the root word, then we have an X. Now, if you look at the dictionary, the ending of the root are two S's. So when this occurs, and it's pretty common, you'll only find the two S's in the present tense, and they change in the other tenses. Muntz, the great Greek professor, expert, says this is because an older consonant, the consonant iota, is removed. There's another older Greek consonant, the gamma. Both of these had died out at the time of Christ. So when it removes in the other tenses, you get an X, and that's why that is there. And then the eta makes you think of a lengthened epsilon. So that might indicate then we are dealing with a aorist tense, seeing this ending that's in the subjunctive. So if it was not in the subjunctive, you would have the E ending, typical for the second set of endings, telling you the third person singular. Second set of endings are typically the past tenses. So, epikatalixe, you have a aorist subjunctive third person singular reconcile. Okay, so it's an important theological word. It's used here and in Colossians 1. Katalazo, also meaning reconcile, is used in Romans 5. In 1 Corinthians 5, same basic meaning. At the cross, where we were enemies, Christ, through his blood, reconciled our relationship to God, changing us. We were changed to a new person which has peace with God, a forgiven new person that have peace with God. So enemies, peace are two words that typically go with the word reconcile. Tous, okay, so short word starts with a T, so you think of a article, and then you are looking then for a noun. What you find next is an adjective, amphitheros, for both. Amphi is typically meaning round, like amphitheater, and in this case, both of them end in ous, and that is, as you know, the accusative masculine plural. Now, where's the noun? Well, we don't see it. So again, in Greek, an adjective can represent a noun uh, if the noun is not present. Can't do that in English. So he reconciled the both, in a sense, in a translation. In, that ever-present preposition, in, translated in, any, somati. So any is one. It's the dative form of the neuter and singular. That begins with in with the I. So it's taking the third declension ending. So remember the dative singular for third declension endings is the I. Samati, it matches here because samati also takes third declension endings with its root word being samat. So because it's a consonant ending in the root, it takes that third declension ending, the I, in body. Now again, if you have a preposition, that can also indicate a article, direct article, and in this case, it would, for a good translation, in the body. So what do we have? And that we might be reconciled both unto God in one body. So God took both the Jew and the Gentile and reconciled them reconciled us through Christ to himself. Thanks be to God. Okay, thank you for joining me today. We'll take the second half of the verse next time. Please join me then.